Yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh-oh, hold on. I ain't closing my door back there. Yo.
Yo, yo.
You got me? You got me in effect. Okay, we got okay. I think we got feedback going on here. Yo.
Yo, yo.
You got me? You got me in effect. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. Uh, Hayward CPA live stream in the building. Got consulting. Yo, I'm dressed for today too, son. Yo, I'm unveiling it, B. What y'all know?
See,
Yeah, it's going
yeah,
down. It's
see you.
going.
I see
Yeah, it's going down. I had to get, I had to get something going on,
you. Right.
So, yes. Good morning. Oh, how about that? Yeah, I'm gonna put you up there. Good morning, right there.
Come on.
Yeah, not can't be anonymous anymore. So, yo, listen. Hey, with CPA live stream. We in the building once again. I'm James Hayward, CPA, and we have Mr. Cortastic himself, um, Corey Franklin. I ain't peeped the lion back there.
It's a jungle out here.
Yeah, it's a jungle. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Huh? Huh?
So now, how many CPA live screens?
Oh, man, it's out of control.
Yeah, it's out of control, man. It's laid back today, but this is our weekly bi-weekly Q&A session. Um, for viewers, listeners, what have you, to answer some of their questions. Some of the questions we pose ourselves because we have nothing better to do but to think about this stuff, and some of them come from uh, viewers, listeners. So let me get that straight. If you have a question, let me put it up here. If you have a question, you may be a little shy today. That's all right. But if you have a question, please email us. Email us during the weeks, and especially if it's something that I put it down in the crawler. If it's something that might take a little bit of research, please email us. So I want to make it clear that this forum here, and we will have interviews and all that, but this isn't totally a lecture forum. This is a Q&A. Just call it like office hours or something. You want to drop in, ask a question, had a bad week in sales, yo, what should I do? I'm ready to jump off the ledge because every entrepreneur feels that sometimes on a daily basis. So we just providing a forum for you to come in and say. So that's good, man. So yo, what's up with you, man? You got anything for the people out here? The listening public.
Just get ready for the last quarter.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's like that. All
They've got to be proactive, right?
right.
Uh,
I
yeah,
ain't mad
yeah. We got to continuously figure out how to properly nurture the business, right?
no doubt. Well, that fits.
And that begins with the mind and process.
I got you. So that's where we are. So that's the yeah. So that's where you are anyway. so so yeah. All right. Bet. Now you always got me all thrown off now. Now I'm saying I'm like yeah. Okay. What he said. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm like
yeah.
yo. All right. But today,
Just a question or two for the day. I think what we're talking about
I'm about to
different
put it
steps.
up.
Oh, okay.
We pulling
Let's
it
go.
up. This
Let's
is the
go.
question. This is the subject of the day. Down at the bottom there. Oh, I'm not all the way in camera.
Yeah.
It is. Well, I left the first part out, but because it sounded better. It's survive, thrive, and arrive. Which stage is your business in? Good question. Great question. Great discussion question. So I know in the pre-production meeting that I was having with myself, um, we so Corey and I both read all these books. Now I know for me they start overlapping because a lot of the themes are familiar
Mhm.
or the same, but you kind of people people give them out in different, just like this forum. We're telling you stuff that's out there, but just with a different flair, a different vernacular, something like that. So this concept, and I Harvard Business Review to anything else, we talk about the stages of growth for a company. Um, and I thought it would be good to kind of talk about this because some people, when we see clients, sometimes they're not aware of this, and sometimes they're getting ahead of themselves by calling our firm. But it's I think it's knowledge that we know, and I said, you know what, let's share it. It's a good question. We're doing a question format. So in so what I was saying is I'm attributing this to either the $1 million consultant Alan Weiss or the E-Myth man Michael Gerber, because there's all, and there might be a book I'm missing. I don't know I don't know, but I know I read this in the book, so I'm not taking credit like, yeah, this is Hayward's method. Nah, ain't none of that. I read in the book, so I'm sharing it on video because more people watch videos than read books. That's another subject for another time. So where we going from is and I left because this was more catchy, but idea is the first step, first stage of anything. An idea, easiest thing in the world to do. I mean, it's easy. I mean, in this 20 something minutes left, I probably could come up with at least 15 business ideas.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
right.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people are in that stage, but because you get to that stage, then you get your obligatory LLC and EIN number. You get it. Yes, on paper, technically you're a business now, but you're an idea. Kind of an idea. So you're just an idea until you get your first sale or first contract or something like that. Whatever you have,
Right.
that's when you first do when you're taking part in commerce once that happens. So the idea phase, I think we can. I think I would. Well, we probably in a leaning planning event we need to do. We need to do a lean planning one to talk about ideas and how they become. But I really want to start with survive because that's where a lot of our listeners probably are. Survive.
Right.
Survive in advance. That's all. That's all it's about. And survival is hard. It's very hard. It's very hard to survive. Um, Often in this stage, you just got started. You're using your personal credit cards or whatever, your savings, the money from your kids' piggy bank, whatever you got going on. And every period, you either, if you're by yourself, you're trying to figure out how you're gonna pay your home bills, like how you gonna live. If you have payroll, you usually are looking to be like, I gotta make payroll, pay the rent, pay that, and it's out of control. Now, one thing I will say that these things are not revenue specific. So I don't mean, you know, idea is zero income and then survive is just a little income. You could be in survival phase generating $1 million a year. So it's not linked up to that. I mean, it has to go into a lot of surviving because your cash flows aren't healthy. So I mean, so yeah, so the survive phase, and we can talk a little more about it. But tell the people how you see survival. I mean, you got a lion behind you, so I mean, you got survive behind that. But like, yeah, I mean, your thoughts on the survival phase?
Well, first thing is learning. You got to understand that you're always in the learning phase. Period.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what survival is, right? It's learning new information and using information for your benefits. So that's the survival piece. Understanding the resources that are around you currently, and what resources are expired, and that you need to go and find new resources, right? I mean, it's ironic to have a line behind me, but anyone watches like wildlife movies or anything, you can see that animals transition from place to place, season to season, for different stages of their life, right? And so we kind of the same thing. And I think with survival, we have to be open minded. We have to continuously learn, and then we'll get to a phase of where now we exist and we learn to maintain and grow.
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And so that maintain and grow now becomes a lot of relationships, your network, and support of other communities and initiatives and other businesses and things of that nature, right? That's kind of where we are in today's world, especially because of the social platforms. It's always been, but the social platforms just enhances a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's definitely true. The survival, I think, is you can't quantify it, but a big part of it is to move. I would even say stages of survival. To move from stage one of survival to whatever stage we think when you're thriving.
Correct.
You're gonna need relationships. Relationships with your vendors, relationships with your employees, relationships, with your clients, customers. You have to do that, especially with a lack of capital or not having enough capital, because a lot of things, first of all, you have to do them yourself.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to do them yourself. But
Wow.
but I mean, when you step one, and it's a tendency for people to outsource everything they want, or I'm not good at that, I don't do it, whatever. But if you call yourself a CEO or executive director of an organization or whatever you call yourself, if you're the head person, you have to have enough knowledge to know what's supposed to be happening. And you get that through relationships and learning. So the survival phase, which it seems like I've been in that my whole time in business. Um, still in it, to be honest, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Um,
that's because you're a big thinker, and so big thinkers always run the risk of always in survival mode, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah, I know that's
lack
a
of consistency. So that's not a down on. That's a good thing.
yeah, well, yeah, it's good in one way because the stress level of survival mode is normalized for me. So I'm like, yeah, it is whatever. But then it's bad because the stress level of survival mode is normalized. So I don't even know when I'm stressed out. So that's the give and the take there. But
True.
it's the part where I mean, in realism, you can't make any mistakes. All right, I want to say there's no absolutes, but mistakes are more detrimental, obviously, to survival. That you can recover from them. Everything from getting an NSF charge to forgetting to pay a bill to not collecting your money. Like this, and these things happen. Like they just happen. So
Mhm.
you have to have a man. I think where I'm parlaying this to is our discussions on planning, and we rolling out some offerings with this software called Live Plan. Shameless plug, but this thing named Live Plan that helps with these kind of things because when you is I mean I've always done it by numbers, but when you're surviving, you have to have a map. It's easier to go on a trail where you know where you headed and you ain't got no food, then you just out there and you ain't got no food and you don't even know where to go.
It's four. It's the four. This kind of plugs into what you're talking about. It's the four factors, right? It's the owner's goals, the owner's operational abilities, the managerial abilities, right? And their strategic abilities, the ability to take resources and implement them to get to the outcome that they want. And so that's where our plan is to, one of the areas the plan is supposed to be most effective, as you're saying, to have a plan so you can really understand it and tweak it and take
That's
it through the
what's going
stages.
on. Yeah,
Right?
and that's and but what comes up is that people are like, well, I don't have time to do that, and what difference? So the other thing too, I think we get a lot of, well, what difference does it make? Because people are accustomed to doing these exercises for outside requests. So people, a business plan, which I know we've said before on this show, people in their mind, they're like, well, I need that to get along. So that's why they stop there. They never say, man, I just thought I have no idea what I'm doing
Yeah,
right
but
now.
we come with a different perspective, right?
Oh yeah.
And the perspective is what? It come from a numbers perspective.
Oh, no doubt. Well, you
That's
got to.
that you and yeah, but again, I think most people don't relate business plans as the financials as the foundation.
Oh,
It's the foundation for the building blocks of everything else, right? Because a lot of people do business plan. I got a business plan. Okay, why SBDC told me to write a business plan, SBA business
yeah.
plan, right?
I
Make
got a
business
score mentor. Yeah.
stuff in there, right? I mean, but if you understand the financial aspects of each phase,
Then you
you
can.
don't have to be expert, but I think if you have an understanding of that, you can build a plan that is
Yeah.
more relevant, right?
That's more relevant to what's, yeah, well, it ties back to the numbers. So, and then you can
Correct.
also tell whether your numbers are fantasies or not. That's
Correct.
that's the thing. So, and that that's a gateway to the thriving level. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thriving, yeah, it's very, I mean, and I mind you, all these things are subjective. But
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, the thriving part is what you mentioned when you really, take your four elements and it's starting to run. This is the E-Myth part. When you got scalability, it's starting to run on its own.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do everything yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
also a large leap, especially for a sole practitioner, sole proprietor. Very, very difficult to do. Very difficult. I mean, if anything, I know there's like 2 million new coaches a day. There's a lot of new business coaches every day that's going on. It's like they're gonna catch up with lawyers, but I mean, we got a lot of them. That's all I'm saying. And no shade, in the comments, please. I'm just saying. So everyone's a business coach. Um, Good place to get a coach is between this surviving and thriving phase, because you have to separate yourself from what you do, the activity of what you do, to looking at a full, really 360 view of your business as an entity. So you have to. Most people come in. E-Myth talks about it as technicians. They know how to do what the business is open for, but
Correct.
they don't know. So whatever that technical thing is, they know how to do it. Marketing, sales, strategic planning, um, I mean, branding, all these different things, all these different aspects. But if you go to the base levels of business, base operations, logistics, things like that, however that go, people are not familiar with that. So often what happens is they hire somebody who, it's difficult to hire somebody to execute your vision, especially if you haven't spelled the vision out. Very difficult. So that's what happens. But this is where you need, I think, business coaches can help here. Now, business coach, I'm just going to sidebar this real quick. Um, Important for you to have a business coach that's actually had a business. That's very important. That's it. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. All I'm saying is I see a lot of people who look like their business is business coaching, and they're gonna tell they gonna you gonna hire them to coach you, and but their business is business coaching. Like they don't, and like they started last year. And then they want to coach you. Like, okay, all right. So I mean, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, you want to coach and all that, but I'm just saying it behooves you, and if you got to get multiple ones, because someone could give you, a new person could give you the enthusiasm, and then you go to somebody and say, yeah, but check this out too, and look at that. So I think that's a very good thing. And you can get your coaching by reading books as well, or listening to audio books too. Um, I just think when it gets specific, trying to go from survive to thrive is I mean, I have coaches. I got internal coaches and external coaches all the time. I'm always running
Mm-hmm.
things by people,
Mm-hmm.
and because we're in that, we might be, let's see, for survive, we might be at the V and E of survive on our way to the dash to the T and H of thrive. That's our practices there. We kind of,
Right.
you know,
Right.
but it is going through the challenge. So I really encourage people, and you have to let up as the owner. You have to relinquish. You have to relinquish to people. You gotta trust somebody. I mean, you can't just do it yourself. So,
Yeah, well, to add on to where you at, business coaches allow you to understand certain questions that you don't realize that are questions, because they can put you in a situation to understand those questions by probably asking those questions.
yeah,
Right? I got some notes here, like simple questions. Do I have the quality or diversity of people, right? Needed to manage and grow my company further? Do I have now, or will I have shortly, the systems in place, right? And do I have the ability, the know-how, the process to delegate to
yeah,
those? Right? And so that's what business coaches give you, the ability to come out, like you said, come outside of
yeah,
what you're working mentally and for the business, so you
yeah,
can get that 360 view.
yeah. And also, just listening to you, because we know you're one of the, one of the coaches out here, and not the ones I was talking about, the coaches that
No,
we produce.
none taken, none taken.
No, I know you. We know you. We here together. What I'm saying is, um, the good thing about coaching is it. Well, what I was gonna say, business owners don't have a place to release the pressure. And
Mhm,
I'll add nonprofit, because we have a nonprofit executive director kind of facing this too. So,
mhm,
entrepreneurship is a lonely task. So it's just very, very lonely. And
mhm.
it's by nature is a family business, regardless of
Mhm.
people, everybody works in the business or not, is a family business, because the owner still has to interact with their family. That's just how it works. It doesn't, you can't segment it. But with that being said, you don't have many people don't have a lot of places to discuss business related issues. So if you bring it to your spouse and say you worried about XYZ, that can cause you more problems than solving. Now you expect, yeah, the closest, in most cases, the closest person to you. But when you jump in like that, it can, because the spouse got a different MO. They're like, hey, we need to pay XYZ, whatever, so, and it could get bad. Your friends or your people who work full time.
Close, close.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't. They complain about their boss, and you the boss in your spot. So you know what I mean? Like it's going like this. Like I can't really express. So we're having a coach, having an outlet, because of one of the big things about entrepreneurship is, and to your point, extended learning, talking it out. I just need to say it
Mhm.
out loud, and
Yep.
because most of us have a lot of answers within us, but we just don't. I mean, you're not gonna sit around and talk. Well, I mean, some of us talk to ourselves. I mean, I don't know anybody that does that offhand, but some of us talk to ourselves. But what I'm saying is that coaching, or having that person that knows something and is completely objective, is completely
Yeah.
objective. If you saying sales are down so and so, I mean, come on, you ain't gonna tell your spouse that. They gonna start panicking. Especially if you put all your family money into the business, and you gonna start talking about, yeah, well, things have been slow. Like what? Then you might get hit with you might want to go look for a job. You're gonna start getting one ads put on you. It's like they gonna start throwing one ass on you, and then gonna feel away. So,
But we can use that as a mental exercise, right? You know
yeah,
how I think, right? So that's just resource maturity, right? So your wife, your spouse,
yeah,
your
gotta be spouse, dog. Spouse.
right? Spouse, aunts, uncles, parents, brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
Those are your resources. Those are your family resources. And in the event that they can't really support you in that aspect, which for whatever reason, it's an understanding thing, right? You got to understand. It's not about the right or wrong. This gives you the ability to say, all right, well, let me see what resources that are out there that can actually help me wrap my head around why I'm having these challenges and these pain points in my business, right? And so, again, that's to reinforce the fact, because, again, a lot of people, you and I, we talk about this all the time. We read a lot, we listen to audiobooks, we test out things, and then you and I get on the phone and we engage each other, right? In this communication aspect and the understanding of things. But it's something that we had to get to because we had to pass through our own,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And so
Yeah.
that just kind of speaks to putting spin on it as in a positive nature. Find those resources because everybody can't be one thing for everything.
No, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And that's the thing to understand.
Taking notes over there, brother.
Yo, yeah, I'm writing down, so that's how we do here. So I took something down there because we'll forget what we say, even though we're recording this, so that's good. But half the time we forget what we were saying. It's just be like, oh yeah, what were we talking about? But yeah, but it is. I mean, and to get to the thriving, your company is thriving. Yeah, it takes a village. It goes back to your earlier point. It takes a village. You gotta have people to support you in the way that you can, and then you have to know what you can bring to an individual. You know, if someone close to you is real, they're not comfortable about money, and you come in and you like, yo, I'm down so and so, and I got to find out a way to get this tomorrow. Your conversation is not going to be productive with them. All right, it's just not. Any emotionally based finance in general, emotionally based money discussions usually don't turn out well. They just don't. You know, yeah. I mean, that's yeah, right. It just doesn't. I mean, in the relationship to money, in America, it's a lot of layers to it. So,
So
that's
let me ask you real quick, so because you definitely on something right now.
oh,
So
yeah.
in your communications and your experiences with your resources and clients and things of that nature, do we find that is really really a strain point in the business owner entrepreneur's mind is the relationship factor and the support of the relationship when it comes to them growing their business? Like, is
Oh,
that a hindrance, do you find?
it can be. It can
A
be.
lot on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think?
No, I think
Across
it's.
the
I, I mean, it's a 10. It's a 10 because the entrepreneurship is about risk taking. That's what it is.
Mhm,
You can do it. We can say whatever you want, but you are taking a risk when you saying I'm betting my livelihood on my talent. At first level, what I do, people are paying me for it. So
mhm,
you have a case where if and some people make it's like a fight. I'm out here fighting. I'm fighting, every day, whatever. There's
mhm,
nothing worse than fighting all day than coming home to fight. Like
mhm.
that's just the worst, period.
Right.
So it's all how it's not having your circle necessarily understand every aspect of what you're doing. It's
Mhm,
about having them one trust you. That even if it goes all bad, we're gonna be all right. They gotta trust it. May not see it, may not believe it, but they gotta trust it. That's you
right.
gotta do one. And
Right.
two, with that, I think sometimes you have to be, it's not about not letting the other person know, but you have to, just like you have things, if once you get employees and you have to, manage the process or whatever, you have to manage that process at home, spouse, children, parents, whatever. You have to manage that process because you, in my opinion, you can't afford negative energy from people that you really value what they think of you or what they say. That's, I mean, that's like, and I faced it because I started in business when I was young. So, I mean, it's like everybody's, not everybody, but some people are like, well, can't you go get a job while you waiting for it to jump off? Now, now, me, I'd be like, what do you mean? There's no getting a job while I wait for it. If I get a job, I'm getting a job. If I'm doing my thing, I'm doing my thing. So, but I've, and it's been this. So I've experienced a lot of this. What I'm talking about. And did I handle it the best in the past? Probably not. I'll openly admit that. but the difference is that it can have a detrimental effect because your day, I mean, entrepreneurship every day is uncertainty. So if uncertainty starts creeping in your household, geez, you can't ever escape it. And then that's where you start saying, well, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And then you start making decisions that aren't based on facts or the milestones you set for yourself. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's because I'll just package it like this. If you are starting a business or you've started a business, it's whatever, you got to get with your people. You got to get with them. And that doesn't mean you got to have them work in the business because that's a quick line of disillusion too. Disillusion of marriages. So you don't necessarily have to have them work with you. And I would
Just
never
create an air of understanding. That's all.
Yeah, but you have to have some way where you're comfortable sharing, but you got to know your person to know, it's weird because I'm not telling you to
Yeah,
not tell your spouse something, but
yeah.
in
You're
that
right.
role, you got to treat them like an employee. Like, like the way you say, you're like, hey, this is what's going on, obviously, or like a board of directors. However you want to do, and that's what I would say, you treat your family like the board of directors. The board of directors they don't know the day-to-day stuff. They know the results. So let them know. And truthfully, that is your board of directors. That's who you're doing the thing to bring the money to your family so you can live. So that is the board of directors. I never thought about that before. Yeah, that's a good idea you came up with right there. That's that's good. So, but no, it's definitely important. So we gotta do it. Now we ran. See, this is the thing. We almost ran over time. We didn't even get to a live, which I meant to type arrive, but it's a live. It's so alive. Probably we could go to we could get back to alive. Alive.
Culmination of all of what you meant. So it's all good.
But I mean,
You got alive during this journey.
yeah, you get alive, but that's the next phase, But I think surviving and thriving,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot. That's
That's it's the existence in between those that piece right there.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, so I think I think with that we can solicit questions for next week.
Yeah, well, I mean, and if there's any questions, email us. Right?
Live. It's live at Haywood
Yeah.
CPA. Get it right. Or you can email the financial flip side too, but I'm gonna put it live at Haywood CPA. Here we go. Let's put it.
If you want to go through those stages, 5 stages of growth.
Yeah.
We have questions for that too.
Yeah, we have answers for that. Then we have, and this is a good time for us to actually talk about some of the things that we're doing. I mentioned live playing earlier, and incidentally, look, we having a conversation like we're not on camera, broadcasting to the universe. But I went through all that live playing stuff last night. Like I had it. We'll talk later. Like it crystallized a little bit more for me last night. But that's something we're talking about. Planning, forecasting, doing things is a big part of being in business, a big part of being an entrepreneur, and having the outlet to do that, to talk to somebody that's impartial, I think is invaluable, and we do it. But that's what gets you from idea, could get you from idea to survival, and survival to thriving, and thriving to arriving, and what have you. So That's definitely an option. And then we also, as you see the t-shirt, so I'm putting myself under pressure. I haven't had enough pressure. So BYO, okay, it's a little hectic here. BYO bookkeeper is coming. It's a course um, by yours truly to teach you how to be your own bookkeeper. But yet, so that you can work with your accountant in a more, let's say, productive manner. Um,
Informed
yeah,
man.
yeah. And one of the things about it is the feature is going to be is taught on the Zero platform. Um, but it's teaching you how basically how to get these basic transactions into your system, and also teach you some about what you're looking at. Um, it so it's not a cost to make you an accountant. It's there for you to handle your books, then whether it be you or a staff member. But I always feel like reading your general ledger or looking at it tells a lot of information. It tells a lot of information in there. So we're in pre-production of the course right now. It's been in pre-production for a while, but it's been in pre-production. But now that I have worn the t-shirt in public, I have no choice but to get this thing going. At least do a little demo thing, a little beta tester.
Mm-hmm.
So but the BYOB links to the live plan, to the planning factor, because you cannot plan without having a history, taking the historical data and knowing what happened. So those are two of the things we have going on right there. So that's that. I gotta give the obligatory um you know follow us, follow our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are also working on doing some explaining videos that'll be on our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, you get alerts. Um, Join our page, and most of all, spread the word. We're out here for the people. Spread, say, share this with people, share that they can ask questions. This,
Send the question, right?
yeah, this is like super spectacular. I mean, really, we sitting here, we got the great consulting commander over there. Got me. The
But I want to say something, though, because I have to interrupt you for a minute. These conversations we're having are really like the people need to really, really be on how live we are
oh
and
yeah,
animated and information giving in our conversation. So send in those questions and
yeah.
let's open this up,
Oh
right?
yeah, no doubt. I mean, we get to the point that we might be taking calls on the air. Now that would be fun. That would be outstanding. That would be fun. That'd be the move right there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
so y'all, big shout out to everybody. I see. I don't know, one of my dear, well, my father's dear, whatever, dear friend and PR expert Joyce Owens had joined us this morning. So well, I think she's still upstate, but anyway, she's in New York. Great PR person, PR veteran. Um, had her at one of the conferences we did in Durham years ago. So thank you for tuning in there. So I mean, look, you know where we are, you know what we do. Just subscribe to everything. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, at Hayward CPA PLLC on Instagram, at Hayward CPA on Twitter. You can also get the audio of this at your favorite podcast location. We're doing the audio podcast. So, and we just have a lot going on. And then, we're gonna work on the consulting uh podcast. We probably get it fourth quarter. We probably get it in fourth quarter.
No, we will get it for a quarter.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be part of the Flip Side network. So with that being said, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. If you're in line, I think it's Ida, this is a hurricane. Get out the way. They talking about it's going to hit a category 4.
Mm.
I'm just saying, no need to play with it. So be safe, get out the way, and hey, send out questions. Live at Hayward C. Look who showed up. Yeah. He got banker's hours. So he got banker's hours. It's all good though, It's all good. But we're gone. Thank you for your time. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Later, everyone.